Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Before I get the show started, on behalf of all Knicks fans everywhere, I'd like to send my condolences to Reggie Bullock and to Dennis Smith Jr. on the passing of very close family members. Knicks fans are with you. We support you. We got your back, fellas. We got your back. So condolences to you, your family. They're in our thoughts. They're in our hearts. They're in our prayers.
That's the G.
And I'm back, Knicks family. The Knicks finally got a win last night. Finally. Listen, I'm ecstatic about it. And I hope that you're ecstatic about it as well. Got our first win of the season. And it was a good win. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was a good win. You know, we had to fight back. We had to claw back from being down 18 points to get the win, but we got the win nonetheless. And look, maybe it wasn't versus the best team in the league, but you got to start somewhere, right? That's first and foremost. You got to start somewhere. We started with the Chicago Bulls. Now we face the Orlando Magic, right? A team that is much better than I think most people will give them credit for. I believe so. You know, they were close to making the 8th seed last year, and I think they'll probably be close to making the 8th seed again this year. It's a team that if we, the New York Knicks, believe that we are an 8th seeded team, it's a team that we'll be battling against for that 8th seed. All right. So, we're going to talk about this game and what we need to do to secure a win this game and win our second game in a row. All right, because I think after we play Orlando, we play Boston. Right? Getting a victory versus Orlando could be important, could be paramount to the Knicks, to their confidence as a team. You know what I'm saying? Could be paramount to the confidence, to their confidence as a team. So we're going to talk about it today. We're going to get into it a little bit. I got Isaiah here in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So let me talk to Isaiah. He's got his Charlie Brown shirt on again. Chilling, though. I'll give it to him. He's chilling with the Charlie Brown shirt. You know what I mean? Isaiah, give me 1 second. Let me get you unmuted. All right? And, see what's popping with you. What's going on with you, my brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, son? First thing first, man, I just want to say rest in peace to Reggie Bullock's sister, man. It's crazy what's going on with the Knicks and Dennis Smith Jr. and Reggie Bullock, man. So I'm praying for his families, praying for both their families. And, I can't imagine losing a sibling and losing a mother. So
that's very tough,
definitely Reggie Bullock and Dennis Smith Jr. is in my heart right now. Seriously,
Yeah, listen, I've never lost a sibling. I've never lost a parent. Haven't lost a parent. But I can only imagine. I lost my grandfather, who was as close to me.
I lost my grandmother as well.
Yeah, he's as close to me as a father as it comes, as a parent as it comes, without it being my actual parent, and it was painful, like extremely painful. So I can't imagine what it's like to actually lose a parent or lose a sibling, because I haven't been in that situation before. I can only relate it to.
And it's crazy, Sim, because if you know Dennis Smith Jr., I think he lost his mother when he was young too.
Yeah, I'm not sure the history of it. I'm not sure the history of it, but nonetheless, it's very tough. And with Dennis Smith Jr., I haven't heard anything about how I know it was sudden. I'm assuming it was sudden. I don't know if it was something that it was building up and they knew about it, and maybe Dennis Smith Jr. had some stress about it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It happened, and we all owe his family the respect, man. To
Hmm.
from now going forward until he's back. Keep his name out the news. Unless he chooses to put his name there. You know what I'm saying? And out anything controversial at this point. You
Yeah,
know what
no,
I'm
most
saying? And
definitely,
and,
most
and
definitely.
look, Knicks fans didn't know if he was going through anything, and you can't expect anybody
Of
to know.
course,
You know what I mean? But now that we do know, it's our job to be respectful for him and his family. And the same goes for
most
Reggie
definitely.
Bullock. Obviously, Reggie Bullock wasn't playing because he had his neck injury. You know what I mean? But the same for Reggie Bullock and his family. It's our job as Knicks fans. It's my job as a guy that's on YouTube and people listen to my show to make sure that we show respect to both of their families, both of the players and both of their families. And give our condolences because it's due. Right. So with that out the way,
Yes, sir. Let's
you
get
look
to it.
very elementary today with the striped shirt. You know what I mean? You look very
Hey, man.
elementary. But that's
Hey,
all
Slim, can I
good
say
though.
something?
Yeah,
That's what
go
I'm
ahead.
saying before we start saying it's crazy how you predicted this, man. I don't know if you remember, but during the game, remember how Mark was wilding out on Bobby Portis, and you was like, you legit said it. You was like, man, if Bobby Portis dropped 25 and 10, the next game you ain't gonna be saying anything. And then lo and behold,
Yeah.
that Slim, I
Hey,
swear to God, I thought about you the whole. I called you last night because I was
hey,
like, man, how the heck did you literally say this Saturday and it happened the next game? I was like, that's crazy, man. You got to play the
hey,
lotto,
man.
man.
You never know. I might have some. I might have some information that you don't have.
For real, man. I'm just like, this dude really said this, man.
You never
But
know. I might have some info
so
that you don't have. But guess what? If I do, I'm not going to tell you.
I know you won't. I know you
I'm not
won't.
going. I'm not
But
saying nothing. I keep it silent and I'm keeping it quiet.
there you go, man. But I will say this though, Sam. I think if Chicago was a must win, this right here, if we refer like you said earlier, if we're gonna be serious about being the AFC, this is literally a team that's gonna be fighting for that AFC, and we gotta do it, man. Because I think Orlando scraped us last year, man. They just had our numbers last year, man. They
They
just did
had
us
our number
dirty, man.
big time last year. Orlando had our number big time. There was almost nothing we could do against Orlando last year. I think we
Dude,
got blown out.
it was what's his name, the center. He just killed us every time.
Vucevic killed us every time. And I think we got blown
Bro, he
out every
killed
time
us
we played
every time,
Chicago
blown out.
last season, man. It was I mean, not Chicago, Orlando. Every time we played them last season, I think we got blasted. For whatever reason, the matchups just weren't good. Now, the only
Yeah,
thing,
that was just terrible.
yeah, with this team though, obviously, it's a very different team. Uh, and that's the one thing about our team this year. We don't know what to expect from these guys any given night against any given team because they're brand new. So we don't know what they're going to bring to the table, right? We don't know how they're going to match up against Orlando right now. The only thing we know is that Orlando was a decent team last season.
Hey, Sam, I'll be honest with you, man. I think they're a little hungover from last year.
You think
I think
who?
they're a little hungover from getting into the playoffs. So now there's more expectations out there for them. They haven't been playing good, but of course, this would be the game where Knicks get smacked. But I do think it's going to be different. I think we got the personnel to match them now. I think we got quicker a little bit. We got a little bit quicker. We guys are a little bit older, a little bit wiser about how the Magic play. Um, and I honestly think, man, it's going to be Frank and RJ pretty much the man of the ball if Payton doesn't start. So I do think that's a good dynamic for us right there. We got a little size on them, I believe, a little more bigger than them. So I think it's going to be different this time. I really do. I think if we got to rebound the ball, man, but we got to cut these turnovers off. Sam. These
Oh yeah,
turnovers
we're
are
gonna
going to be
talk
killing
about
us,
it. We're
man.
gonna talk about it. But let me ask you this, because I didn't get a chance, and ladies and gentlemen, I know you're here for the game preview, but I didn't get a chance to talk to Isaiah last night at all because when he logged on, he actually cut Guillermo off, or he didn't cut Guillermo off. Guillermo cut me off to talk to Isaiah. So I'm assuming that Guillermo just wanted to talk to Isaiah more than he wanted to talk to me, which that's cool, Guillermo. I get it. All right. No doubt. I understand.
That's my
But
brother. That
I
Gamble,
didn't
my
get to
brother.
hear
That's my
from you.
brother.
You know, how'd you feel about the game last night, man? I didn't get to hear that from you.
Listen,
Tell me, how'd you feel about the
I
game?
was mad. I was
You
talking
was
to my
mad at
lady.
the game last night. What were you mad about with the game last night?
I was talking to my lady, but I was like, wow, I wish I would have went to this game, to the other game, because it was, man, when you talk about, you see the difference. I wanted to say this last night. This is what I'm talking about when I go so hard for Frank. And it wasn't just Frank before people called me a Frank later, but Frank had a major part to do with this. The defense he played, he didn't let his shot affect the way he played defense. And people don't understand how huge that is and how big that was for us. To have a point guard, and no disrespect to Dennis Jr., anything like that, but when your shot's not falling, he still played defense. He still fought over screens. He still blocked shots. He still doing what he had to do. He kept Zach LaVine in front of him. He kept all these people in front of him. He was guarding Kobe White. Kobe White didn't do nothing last night. And this is what I was saying to Gamble about. Frank doesn't have to score. We got enough scoring. In my personal opinion, we got enough scoring. Now, do Frank need to score? Sometimes, yes, because there was a couple shots. That was a goaltend, by the way. But we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
He had a couple shots that he needed to make. So, but that's fine. This is really his first game of the season, so he's not going to be on cylinder. But
literally,
listen, man,
it is. I mean, listen, seriously. Literally, that was his first game of the season, man. Because he played 2 minutes versus San Antonio, right? 18 seconds, 14, 18, whatever seconds versus Boston. So yeah, this was literally his first game of the season. And I seen people everywhere.
And look at the difference of defense, and look at the difference of defense that he did when he actually played. To me, there's a correlation of when he played, we won.
Okay.
I'm not just saying it was all Frank, because it was mainly Bobby Portis.
Now talk about some other stuff, right? We hear about Frank all the time. Talk about some other stuff, man. What else did you like about the game?
Bobby Portis played like a man possessed that wanted to show his old team that you effed up by not keeping me. RJ Barrett, man. I mean, I think I was telling Viv.
Hold on. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this about Bobby Portis, right? Because I agree, he showed out last night. Well, I had no choice but to agree because he showed out last night. He did his thing. But are we only going to get this when he's playing against, somebody that gave up on him or whatever you want to call it?
Sam,
or are we going to get this? Or can we get this every night?
I was talking to Gamma about this last night. I was like, man, this dude. Gamma was like, watch this dude end up tomorrow with like 9, 3, and 1 block. And I'm like, I hope that this wasn't just a motivational game, because players do this. A lot of players do that. When if a team he was supposed to go to or a team traded in, they play hard. I hope this is a good start for Bobby Portis to actually focus and keep this up, because he's capable of doing this. You know what I'm saying? He's capable. Clearly, he's capable, because we've seen it. So he just has to stay consistent with it and not just be motivated by. Okay. Yep. Just gotta keep him motivated. It's just keeping him motivated and keeping him focused on, like, hey, they do this to every team. Don't just do this for the team that did you dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, Isaiah, man. Listen, you can't be working while you're on the phone with me. You know what I'm saying? You can't be working while we trying to talk, man. Listen. I'm giving you an ultimatum. It's either them or me. Oh no, not me. Let me pause that out for a second. Pause that.
Yeah, I'm about
out.
to say,
it's either work or
NBK.
I mean, it's either work or NBK.
I guess I'm about to be homeless. I'm about to move in with Andy.
You know what I'm saying? You got to make a decision. Let me get to Andy. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to work. Take care of some business. All right. So
I'm staying here.
So we can make sure you stay in your mama's house, man. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna kick you out if you don't have a job. Andy, what's popping with you, brother? How you feel about last night's game?
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy you have a show that I could join in, because these late games, these night games is not for me. The after shows.
I
I have
know
a
it's
few
tough.
minutes last night with Mark, but that was all, man.
I know it's tough for you, man. I do. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Always logging in and trying to get in, man. But I know it's tough for you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Sam. So it's not a problem. If only I have the strength and power in my body, so I can join in. But you know what about yesterday? So I guess everybody saw the difference between the team when Frank is on the court and when he's off the court. So I don't think I need to sugarcoat Frank anymore. It's I think it's useless for me to talk about how good Frank was and stuff like that. I already saw and said it before the season even started. So I think just Fizz is gonna give him a fair chance this season. We're not gonna see after when all the point guards are healthy and back at the team. That after two turnovers, Frank is going to get yanked, and then he's going to have a three-game, doghouse bench role. So I just only hope for that. But to be true, man, Alfred also the last two games he wasn't that bad. In the preseason he was looking terrible, but the last two games he was looking like Alfred that came to a new team and needs to gel out with the rest of the guys. So I wasn't that much upset with him. With Dennis, of course, we all know that he was playing really, really bad. We're not going to talk about the why and stuff like that because everybody can react to the things that happen to him differently. Me personally, I would ask for a couple of days of absence before I went on the court because I don't think when you have your mind other not on the court with the team that it's worth to handicap your team like that. But it's I'm not gonna hold any bars, against Dennis Smith. So
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. How'd you feel about Bobby Portis and the rest of the team last night?
well, about Bobby Portis, not to be pessimistic, but I don't think he's gonna have a game like that this season again.
I don't know. He had a
The-
few of them. He had a few of them with the Wizards and with Washington last season.
Yeah, but man, he scored 28. I don't think that might be one of his career highs, man. I don't expect him to score. Maybe he's gonna have a couple of 20-point games, man. But 28, that was a reach. He was 100% from the three, 4 for 4. He had a couple of rebounds. I don't know if you saw the memes about him when he was I think maybe not asked, but there was like a question, Bobby, did you feel certain, about your confidence and about your shot? And they did a screenshot about his eyes when the last, bucket fell in, and he was like shocked that it went in. so, I think, of course, I would be really, really happy if he had those games really regularly. Actually, I told Mark that. I think it's even better than when your players have a little bit worse games, but they have them regularly. So you can predict some, maybe not stats, but how they're going to play and stuff like that. And you can put them in certain positions and stuff to succeed and stuff like that. It's really hard because we don't know. Maybe Alonso Trio had a 4 point game yesterday, but he didn't give even Isozo a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
and
we don't know if those also, ISO had, I think, the second game of the season. He went over 20 points. And the next game, he had, I don't know, 2 field goals made only. So, I know the guys are young, most of them at least, and this is a new team. But for me as a coach, I would still rather have guys that I know what can do on a regular basis than you don't know what you're going to get from any of them on a given night.
yeah,
And you know what? To end on maybe not a positive note, but to end the positive stuff, um, man, I am really disappointed in Randall. I know it's only 4 games, but from what I see, how he disrupts his team, I mean our team, the Knicks, on offense, it's really upsetting me. I know you have maybe a little bit different opinion on this, but man, I would love him, to do what? To overpass the ball at this point. Then the teams are gonna, maybe drop off him a little bit because when you're getting double and triple teams, And I know, like you said, most of them are after he makes the move, but he needs to think about it before even he starts the move. That he will have to, put the ball on the perimeter for the other guys to take a shot and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
really hate guys that take bad quality shots. And when you're teamed, that shot is for 100% going to be bad. So I rather have a worse shooter on the team take an open shot than a guy like Randall take a bad shot.
okay, yeah. Listen, we have there's a lot of stuff that we got to talk about with Julius Randle and how we can get Julius Randle really into the flow of the game. Um, that's it's been difficult. It's been a difficult task so far. You know what I'm saying? Getting Julius Randle into the flow of the game. I guess, it's on Fizdale to find a way to do it. And here's the thing. Yes, Frank, I love what Frank has did last night defensively. Now, but the one thing that I'm not sure he offers yet, because he's still young in his career, Dennis Smith Jr., Elfrid Payton doesn't offer it for me right now either, from what I've seen, is a point guard that can blend all the different talents that we have on the team, right? Julius Randle, to me, cannot do it without a point guard that can put him in the right positions. You know what I'm saying? A point guard that can, because he doesn't have, in my opinion, he doesn't have the floor awareness, the court awareness to recognize, at least right now, where those double teams might come from and who might be open. I don't think he has the awareness to do that. And you need a point guard out there, I think, that can do it for him. I'm not sure if either one of the 3-point guards at this moment are the point guards that can do it for him. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with Tim. And you know what I would add? I think that's why Fizz is giving the ball to Randall, even to bring it up. So, he can have his head up and see what the situation can be. Maybe he can take it one-on-one, right, while bringing the ball up. That's why I think they're even considering him like a point forward.
Yeah.
Because, I don't see why would you give the ball, to bring it up to your second highest player on the court, man. That's absurd for me.
Yeah. So, there's a lot that Fizdale has to do to work out to get things working for Julius Randle right now. I'm going to get a little bit into the preview of the game, all right? And then I'm going to come back to you guys. And then I'll take a couple of phone calls. If you're new to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section, okay? And if you're on Sportscaster right now, follow me on Sportscaster. Because we're about to get into some stuff, and I want you to be there. You know what I'm saying? The season is here, so I want you to follow me. And guys who are calling in, be patient. I'm gonna get to you guys shortly. Right now, I'm gonna go over Just gonna break down what the Knicks and Orlando. All right, and we're gonna take a look at these two teams and how they compare against each other. Like we said, last season, the Knicks really, really struggled with Orlando. They really did. And excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, let me get that back here. There we go. The Knicks really struggled with Orlando last season. Every time we played them, it was a tough go with Orlando. We're going to look to change that. I don't want to say tonight. We're going to look to change that tomorrow night. All right, we're going to change that. We got a different team. We're going to make that different. So let's go ahead and break this down, ladies and gentlemen. I got what I needed where I needed it. Excuse me for the delay. And here we go. The projected starters for tomorrow night versus the Orlando Magic. The game is played at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Start time for the game is 7 o'clock. All right, you can see it on local TV, MSG, obviously, or Fox Sports Florida. Or if you got League Pass, check it out on League Pass. That's how I'm watching it. Projected starters for the game. The New York Knicks, Elfrid Payton at point guard. RJ Barrett at shooting guard. Marcus Morris at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, and Mitchell Robinson at center. For the Orlando Magic, at point guard is DJ Augustine. Shooting guard, Evan Fournier. Small forward, Jonathan Isaac. Power forward is Aaron Gordon. And at center is Nikola Vucevic. Okay, now, these lineups concern me. Oh, and let me go back to the Knicks just for 1 second. Dennis Smith Jr. he's not going to be at the game tomorrow. There's a death in his family. All right, and Reggie Bullock, he has a neck. He wouldn't have been at the game anyway, but there's also a death in his family, so he probably will not even be on the bench. All right. But I'm going to tell you what concerns me about some of these matchups with the Orlando Magic. Mitchell Robinson and Nikola Vucevic. That concerns me. It does. Vucevic, he can play in the post. He can go outside. It concerns me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm expecting Mitch to be in foul trouble tomorrow night. So now Bobby Portis, Taj Gibson, these guys are going to have to do what they can against Nikola Vucevic. I'm expecting Mitch might get in foul trouble. Because that's going to be a tough cover for Mitchell Robinson, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong. I don't want Mitch to be in foul trouble, but that can be a tough cover for Mitch. Right? And then Julius Randle and Aaron Gordon. All right, that can be a tough cover for Julius Randle. Right there, at those two spots, the power forward and center positions, I'm a little bit nervous on what we're going to be able to do defensively. And because of my nervousness, I am expecting there to be a lot of points in the paint by the Orlando Magic. That's what I think. That's what I think could happen. I'm just going to say could happen, with Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson guarding Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic. So I'm a little bit concerned about our power forward and center positions. At point guard, Elfrid Payton and DJ Augustine, it is what it is. Of course, they got Markelle Fultz coming off the bench, who's been playing well so far this season. And then R.J. Barrett, Evan Fournier, Marcus Morris, and Jonathan Isaac. I think the Knicks should win those two matchups. Evan Fournier is decent, but I think from what I've seen so far, R.J. Barrett is a better player. That's what I think. So, these two teams, we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see what's going to happen, between these two teams. Now, there's a little bit more than just that with these two teams, right? Because there's also, let's take a look at the team comparison. All right? Take a look at the team comparison. And looking at some numbers right now, the Knicks average 105 points per game. They're 1-3 on the season. Orlando Magic is 1-2 on the season. The Knicks average 105 points per game. They give up 112 points per game. Right? The Knicks shoot 43.3% from the field, 38.7% from three. They average 18.8 assists per game and 20 turnovers a game. That's the Knicks average right now, ladies and gentlemen. I think they had 17 turnovers last night. All right, the Knicks are 27th in the league in turnovers. All right, they average 20.3 turnovers per game. That's not looking good. And 18 assists per game. So they're averaging more turnovers than assists. And it's an early sample size. Only 4 games into the season, but listen, the Knicks are 28th in assists. I'm 27th in assists at 18.8. That's not good. The Knicks defensive rating is 107.9. That's ranked 23rd in the league. The Orlando Magic. And I have let me fix something real quick with the Orlando Magic. I want to make sure that I have this right for you guys. All right, but the Orlando Magic at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, the Orlando Magic averages 96 points per game. All right. Now, that's a good thing for the Knicks, obviously. That they only average 96 points per game. Because The Knicks are giving up 112 points per game, 112.2 points per game. Listen, we don't want them. We don't want a team. We don't want the Orlando Magic scoring all over us. You know what I mean? They have some guys who can score the basketball if we allow them to. So the fact that so far this season they're only averaging 96 points per game, it seems like it could help the Knicks out. And I'm hoping that it helps the Knicks out. That they haven't got their offense clicking as of yet. You know what I mean? And in a minute, I'm going to get to what the Orlando Magic give up. I had it wrong, so I want to make sure that I'm getting the right information to you guys, and I'm getting it to you right now. The Orlando Magic, they give up 97.3 points per game. All right? So that's something that the Knicks have to look at as well. So what does that say to you? What it should say to you is that they're a good defensive team. They're only giving up 97 points per game. Right? That's a pretty good defensive team, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It's a pretty good defensive team. Now, they don't shoot well from the field. All right? Let me bring this back over here for you. There you go. All right, the Orlando Magic average they average 96 points per game. They give up 97.3 points per game. All right, they're only shooting 38.7% from the field and 26% from three. All right, they average 20.3 assists per game and only 13 turnovers per game. You talk about a team that's straight out of the 90s? That's the Orlando Magic. That's the Orlando Magic. These guys, when you look at these numbers, that's out of the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? When you a team that's only averaging 96 points, right? 96 points per game. That's what they average. Only 13 turnovers. That means they play at a slower pace. Right? That's 90s numbers. Talk about 90s basketball. So where am I concerned? I'm concerned that the Knicks, without having the type of offense, a ball movement, an offense with a lot of ball movement, and they get stagnant a lot, that the Orlando Magic, being second in the league in defensive rating, their defensive rating is 94.5. They're second in the league. I'm concerned that with the Knicks, there's going to be a lot of isolation tomorrow night. That's what I'm concerned with. That these guys are going to have a stifling defense that stops the Knicks from any kind of man movement, ball movement, cutting to the basket. And when the Knicks get shut down in that manner, they revert to isolation. We've seen it throughout these 4 games. So that definitely concerns me when playing the Orlando Magic. And if that happens, because that's exactly what happened against Boston, right? Boston, out of the 3 teams that we played, the 4 teams that we played before this Orlando game, Boston was probably the best defensive team. All right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go down the line. I'll let you know. Right now, Utah is the number 1, has the best defensive rating in the league, followed by Orlando. Then it's Toronto, Philadelphia, Oklahoma, Phoenix, and yes, Boston at number 7. Their defensive rating is 100. Okay, the other 2 teams that we played, the Brooklyn Nets, they're 17th. The San Antonio Spurs, they're 20th. All right, so when you look at the Boston Celtics, one of the best defensive teams in the league so far this season, the Knicks got blown out. The Knicks got blown out. Why? Because we became stagnant. Because they took us away from anything that we really wanted to do. As far as moving the basketball, cutting to the basket, and those type of things. We already don't do it well. And then you have a team that plays defense very well, that knows how to take you out of what you want to do. So I'm concerned about tomorrow's game. I'm concerned about the Knicks offense and dealing with a tough defensive team like Orlando. And I'm also concerned about how the Knicks are going to deal with Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic. Those are some concerns for me. You know what I mean? How the Knicks going to deal with those guys. I'm concerned there. Not going to lie to you. I'm concerned about that matchup. Let's take a look at some keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. And, where I think what we need to do to pull away and get some victories. Well, not some victories, to get a victory against the Orlando Magic. So let's begin. Start off. Number one, we gotta get Julius Randle going, folks. We really gotta get Julius Randle going. Because at the moment, there's been a lot of scrutiny at the way that Fizdale has used Julius Randle. He's used him as a point forward some. But more than not, the bigger issue with Julius Randle is how he forces the issue. Right? Forces the issue, tries to force it down people's throats. He's trying to play that bully ball type of game. Right? That's what he's trying to do. And at the moment, that bully ball game is backfiring against Julius Randle. Right? Because he doesn't understand when and where the double teams are coming. He's getting himself caught and trapped between 2 and 3 people every time he goes to the basket. It's on Fizdale, in my opinion. It's on Fizdale to find a way to get Julius Randle free and clear. Find a way to get Julius Randle moving to the basket, catching the ball on the move to the basket. So he doesn't have to stop and look at defenses and where they're coming from. He doesn't have to figure that out. Get him on the move to the basket. Or if you're going to get him in isolation, get him in isolation and get him taking quick moves to the basket. If he's going to the basket. And like Nate said last night, I agree with him. Julius Randle, perfect that mid-range shot too. So you don't always have to just barrel your way into traffic. You know what I mean? It's a learning process for him, though. He's learning how to be that guy. It's a learning process for him. So, I'll give him some time. I'm going to give him some time to learn. You know what I mean? Give him some time to learn. And like Sean Davis is saying, Julius Randle needs to relax. Let the game come to him. Exactly. Relax. He moves so fast all the time when he gets the ball. He's moving so fast and on the way to the basket. And, he doesn't have time to think and look and assess the game. Because he's moving too fast. All right? So we got to get Julius Randle going. I think it's important. We got to find a way to get him going. Because the more that Julius Randle can get going and he really sucks in the defense and we can kick the ball back out, we can get them open 3-point shooters. You know what I mean? And listen, we're shooting almost 40% from 3. So, we need to utilize that. That right now, that's one of the strengths of our team. We got to move the ball so that we can increase our shooting percentage, man. We got to get more ball movement. The ball has to move quicker. It's got to move at a higher pace. Right now it's still, pass the ball, take a couple dribbles. Pass the ball, take a couple dribbles. We get caught doing this weave at the top of the key all the time, and it really doesn't go anywhere. It's going left and right. It's not going north and south. You know what I'm saying? This weave, and it's a very high school play. And I'm not saying that a high school play can't work, but it's a very high school play. You get 1, 2, 3 handoffs, and then you get a screen come from the box. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think we need more than that. Maybe he doesn't feel like the guys can retain it. That's what he said about last year's guys. He didn't think that they could retain a lot of stuff, but we've seen the same play. And we've seen a lot of stuff from last year that we've seen this year. Not much different. Not anything really more complex. He said, I know, Fizdale said we got to go through the work our way up to it, basically. We got to focus on the principles, and then we'll get there. We'll see. But we got to move the ball, increase our shooting percentage. We can't win games shooting 43% from the field. We got to take care of the basketball. We're averaging 20.3 turnovers per game. You're not going to win games averaging 20.3 turnovers per game. It's just not going to happen. You might get one if you have a good night. But consistently, you're going to lose basketball games. A bad shooting percentage, and you're giving the ball back to the other team. Come on, man. Can't win games that way. And we got to continue to rebound the ball. Last night, we had 63 rebounds. This is something that this team can do. And I think this team can be a very good rebounding team. And if we're going to miss shots, we better be a good rebounding team, all right? Last night we had 23 offensive rebounds or something like that. Okay? If we're going to be a bad shooting team, then we better be a good rebounding team, especially a good offensive rebounding team. Because if not, we'll be getting blown out the water every game. Every game. So we got to continue to rebound that basketball. And then let's stay focused. And the reason why I'm saying let's stay focused is because we have guys, Dennis Smith Jr. and Reggie Bullock, who are dealing with things in their families, right? And these players, they're friends. They're friends. And so it might affect you. You know what I'm saying? You may be thinking about your teammates. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the guys stay focused. Stay focused. Focus on the game. Let's try to go out and get us some win, get a win. And not worry as much about what's happening with Dennis Smith Jr. and Reggie Bullock at home. And listen, it's hard not to worry about a friend. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I understand. You know what I mean? I definitely do. But I am positive that those two guys would want their teammates to stay focused on the task that's at hand. So the guys got to stay focused. And then, you, of course, you can go and you can give your condolences and all those things, after the game or whatever it is. Right. And I missed the key. Right. I missed the key. I don't know what I did, but I missed the key to the game. So I want to make sure that you get this key to the game, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I missed the key. So let me come back around. Let me bring this back over here. One more key to the game. And this actually should have been number 1. Right? One more key to the game that should have been number 1. Right? We need a better start to the game. We got to have a better start to the game. Because at the moment, we get down every game, except for Boston. But every game that we've played, against San Antonio, we were down double digits. Against Brooklyn, we were down double digits. This is to begin the game. Against Boston, we went up double digits, but we ended up losing by double digits. Against Chicago, we went down by double digits. Sounds like a trend. We gotta diagnose, what is it? Why? Why are we getting down by double digits every game? To start the game. Then we got to battle back. And what's crazy is in every single one of those games, we had a lead. Against San Antonio, we had a lead in the fourth quarter. Against Brooklyn, we had a lead in the fourth quarter. Against Orlando, we won. We had a lead. Obviously, we won. Against Boston, it was reversed. It was reversed. Right? We jumped out to a big lead. Then we gave up the lead, and then we were going back and forth, and then we gave them the lead in the third quarter, and they never looked back. Well, we got to protect the leads. I mean, we got to not protect it. Well, if we get a lead, yes, we got to protect it, but we have to get off to a better start. We don't get off to a better start, it's going to be trouble all season long, and we're going to have to battle back all season long. It's not what we want to do. Not what we want to do. We got to get off. We got to get off to a better start, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so those are my keys to the game. I will come back to them. All right, I'll definitely come back to them. I want to give a couple of shout-outs to some people in the chat. Thank you for your super chats. I appreciate you. All right, let me give a couple of shout-outs here before I move on. Or at least one shout-out. Big shout-out to Kevin King. He said, "What's up, chat? Nice win. Definitely a nice win last night." And everybody feeling good. Everybody feeling good that we got a win last night. You know what I mean? The lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. We got about 15 to 20 minutes left, so I want to hear from you. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. But until you give me that call, I'm going to talk to the guys that's in the video chat. See what these guys talking about. All right. Andy, since you're already there, I'm going to come to you. Tell me what you think about this game and, this game tomorrow and what we're going to need to do to win. Give me 1 second so I can get you unmuted. There you go.
Yes, and well, I agree with most of maybe with all your points. I could maybe specific one thing about losing the lead and dropping off, too fast. That I think we need to like I don't remember the coach, but I think one coach a couple of years ago said that and on the schedule they can't have like 3 game skids of losses, right? I think we have to apply it to the in game. We can't have spans when we lose like the 10 points, we go 0-10, and or the opposite team has us gets on a roll like that. We gotta stop the bleeding really faster with this squad. And we can do it in a couple of ways, like we already know. One with defense, other with offense. Maybe we can, insert ISO zone then just to get a bucket or two, just to, take off the rhythm of the other team. Because that's really important, because the NBA is a game of runs. And, if you're not going to be defending, you're going to, dig yourself in a hole really, really fast.
Yeah. And that's what we've been doing, man. Digging ourselves in a hole and have to pull out of it. And it takes so much energy to pull out of it. It's hard to play from behind, and come back and win when you're playing from behind. It's very difficult to play from behind.
You need to put in more energy and stuff like that. And tomorrow, I think Alfred is going to be out. I don't know if it's already reported, but I think he's going to be out. So we're going to be maybe not short on guards, but we're going to have to use, the rest of the guards in a bigger, assessment of minutes. So I hope they mesh together well.
And listen, if Elfrid is out right now, if Elfrid is not out, I have him penciled in as the starter if Elfrid Payton is not out. But if he is out, obviously Frank Ntilikina will likely start at the point guard spot. But then what do? Is it Alonzo Trier?
Yeah, exactly.
That comes in?
That's going to be the thing. Or are we going to leave in Barrett and then, plug in Ellington from the bench and then wait till, they crossroads with, on the substitution with Frank again? Well, it's a really tricky situation. Well, we saw the best runs we had was with Frank and RJ. But if we are not going to have, if they're both going to have to sit on a bench, that's going to be interesting, because then I think we're going to go with ISO zone, and the strategy is going to be really ISO. I mean, no matter who, but there's going to be ISO then. So
I'm thinking,
I fear that a little bit.
I mean, honestly, I feel like, well, what about Kadeem Allen? You can call up Kadeem Allen, though.
Yeah,
right?
and
you can bring up Kadeem Allen.
Even for a game or two. We don't know when Reggie is going to be back. We don't know when Dennis is going to be back.
Right.
That's not supposed to be tomorrow for sure. I think it might be a game or two more. So when you are sure that Alfred is going to be out, I think it might be a wise idea to have Allen on your bench at least.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that they should call up Kadeem Allen for the next few games with Dennis Smith Jr. being out, and if Elfrid Payton is not going to be there, call up Kadeem Allen. That way, you got another guy that can help back up Frank Ntilikina if he's going to be the starter. Likely would be the starter. Call up Kadeem Allen. You can use Zoe, but I think it's smarter to use Zoe from the shooting guard spot. You know what I'm saying? And have him in with a Kadeem Allen or Frank Ntilikina so that he can just play his game and score the basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would.
You really need. We saw last season that Kadeem can handle a couple of minutes on the point guard really fine. So and he's only going to be like an insurance policy.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe Frank is going to catch 2 stupid fouls on fast or stuff like that, and then you're going to be really in a bad situation when you're not going to have a guy that can handle the ball.
Right. And so this just in, actually about 25 minutes ago, So I missed it then about 25 minutes ago from the Knicks PR that Elfrid Payton has a strained right hamstring and he's out for tomorrow's game in Orlando.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That I heard it.
Yeah.
I think yesterday on the game. I don't know if, who was on the commentary, but I think they said something about a wrist or something like that. But now it's a hamstring. So
Yeah.
and hamstrings are also funny, man. You can't go. You can't come back from it too fast. So
Right.
that would be a no-brainer to bring in Kadeem Allen.
Right. Yeah, I think that'll be the best thing to do. Bring in Kadeem Allen. Let Kadeem Allen be that. I don't even want to say that he'll be the backup point guard, but at least you have another point guard, that'll be on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And then, he gets, and I'm not saying he's not capable. I'm just saying, he'll get whatever minutes that he gets being the, being one of the backup point guards. And you see it here from the Knicks PR. Says Elfrid injury report. Elfrid Payton strained right hamstring is out for tomorrow night's game at Orlando. So I'm going to go in and adjust those starting lineups, and put Frank Ntilikina in at the starting lineup spot. He's definitely, Frank Ntilikina is definitely going to be the starter. So then now the question is, does Kadeem Allen get called up since he's on that two-way contract? And I think it would be the only smart thing to do. Bring him up for a few games, however many games that Elfrid Payton and Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be out of the lineup. And then we got to look at what that rotation is going to be like, So, we'll get a chance to look at this. Let me show on the screen real quick what the adjusted lineups look like. Okay. And then I'm going to get to, move on to next person in the video chat. So right now, with the update, with the injury update, you see you can take a look at the projected starters for tomorrow. For the Knicks, Frank Ntilikina at point guard, R.J. Barrett at shooting guard, Marcus Morris at small forward, Julius Randle at power forward, and Mitchell Robinson at center. For the Orlando Magic, is DJ Augustine at point guard, Evan Fournier at shooting guard, Jonathan Isaac at small forward, Aaron Gordon at power forward, and Nikola Vucevic at center. All right, so that's the reports coming out of the Knicks public relations department that Elfrid Payton will be out for tomorrow's game. All right, look forward to the Knicks to bring up Kadeem Allen so that they can have a little bit more depth at that point guard spot. And it's going to be interesting to see, how they go about adjusting these lineups and moving these lineups around. Chuck Allen, I'm coming to you, bro. What's going on, Chuck? How you feeling?
Good.
So what?
Glad to be here.
No doubt, glad to have you, man. So how are you feeling? All right, now we know that Frank Ntilikina is going to be starting tomorrow. How do we adjust the lineups? Who's coming off the bench at point guard now?
Well, to be honest, Sam, I think we need to change the starting lineup. I think
Go ahead.
should come off the bench because I agree with you that I'm afraid of him getting in foul trouble, staying on his feet and not jumping and getting caught by Vucevic shooting from outside on the perimeter. So I would move Randy to the 5, Morris to the 4, and then start Knox at the 3, along with RJ and Frank. Because I noticed that when we have at least 2 shooters on the floor with the facilitators, that we move the ball a little bit better. And then once you have a lineup like that, I think we have the mix match on offense, because I don't think Vucevic is favor Randle, especially knowing that he can knock it down from the perimeter. That might give him an opportunity to pump fake, get around, get some easy baskets. Now, as far as Kadeem Allen coming up, I think they should bring him up because he's a capable backup point guard. he used to make things happen last year when he did get in, and he played very well with Trey and those guys coming on bench last year. So I
Yeah.
think that was a smart move.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Let me get to a couple of phone calls, my man. All right. I appreciate you for being here. All right. Let me get to a couple of phone calls. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yeah, what's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
I'm all right. This Sean Davis, the one we talking about, Julius Randle.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm all right, man. You know, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I saw last night.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, you know, I don't like the fact that we got down by 18 and had to fight our way back, but I like the fact that we fought our way back. So, you know, that's the one thing I say. This team doesn't have a quit button.
Not at all, not at all. And they, you know, even though they were down, they keep being down. The reason why they be down because they play too much ISO basketball. They need to just move that basketball and find cutting people going to the rack, you know, or outside shooting, whatever the case may be. They just got to move that rock instead of playing ISO.
Nah, yeah, definitely. I'm with you 100% on that. They got to move that basketball and stop playing ISO. It's easier said than done for them right now. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but they have a hard time executing that principle. You know what I mean? Hopefully, David Fizdale continues to pound it to him, you know, and stress it. You know what I mean? But, you know, right now, and listen, Orlando's got a good defense. Orlando's defense is ranked second in the NBA at the moment. You know what I mean? If you know, if we don't get it together, you see what happened against Boston. You know what I mean? Playing against a good defense like that. We got blown out the water. You know what I mean? If we don't get it together and have some good ball movement tomorrow, you know, be able to play against a stingy defense, cut against a stingy defense and not rely on just one-on-one basketball, we could see the same type of results. You know what I mean? Their defensive rating is 94.5. They're ranked second in the NBA. The Celtics defensive rating was 100, and they're ranked 7th in the NBA. We're playing against a stingy defensive team, at least so far this season. You know what I mean? You know, that could be, so our offense has to be, we got to be right. You know what I mean? Or, listen, we already averaged 20.3 turnovers a game. We'll give up 26 turnovers like we did against Boston if we're not careful. We're not taking care of the basketball, you know, and our offense is not clicking, you know, and we're playing, you know, just ISO basketball. You know, then we're going to get ourselves caught into a lot of double teams and turn the ball over and those type of things. So, and Frank, he's starting that point guard. We can't have none of those lazy passes, man. You can't just throw the ball out there. You know?
No. And Frank, I like Frank. Frank, even though his shot ain't falling, I like that he's being at least taking them shots and making an effort instead of him passing it up.
Yeah, nah, I'm with you. Definitely, I'm with you. You know, so listen, he's got it. He's got his shot now. He's got his chance now. You know, let's see what he's able to do as a starting point guard, man. See what he can do.
He'll come through. I believe in Frank. I think Frank gonna pick it up. I believe in him. I see what he's been doing, and he's showing me something each and every game that go by that he really want to be there.
Nah, no doubt. I mean, I know he wants to be. You know, he wants to be in New York. He wants to be a big contributor. So he's got his chance. See if he can take advantage of it. I think he will. I mean, and I don't. When I say take advantage of it, I'm not saying score, you know, 20 points. You know what I mean? He's going to play his game. That's all you can ask for him. Play his game and do what he does. And help
play elite defense, and that's what you can ask for.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, man, I appreciate the call, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy, sir. Have a good one.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to the end. You know, if someone else calls in, I'll take one more phone call, but we're down to the end of the show. I had to keep it short because I got to get the basketball practice myself, so I got to kind of keep it short today. All right, but I will be on tomorrow night after the game. All right, to do a post game and talk about hopefully a Knicks victory. All right, so I'm gonna get to the guys that's in the video chat and we'll get your last words on tomorrow's game, and then we're gonna send it off from there. All right. Chuck Allen, man, you want to give us some last words on the game tomorrow? Can't hear you, Chuck. Might have to come back. I can't hear you. All right, Andy, want to give us some last words on the game tomorrow?
Yeah, Tim. I really think we can get a W, man. I don't know why. I'm kind of positive after the yesterday's win. That 15-0 run at the end of the game surprised me really positively. If we are able to do it versus maybe it's going to sound big versus a team like Chicago, they're not so good, but versus any team, if you are ready to pull up a 15-0 run, it can bring you back in the game, at any position, at any time and position in the game. But the most important thing is, like you said, not to dig yourself in a hole because you need more energy to dig yourself out. And I think we can really afford to, maybe stay in the game and then, put that last dagger in at the end of the fourth quarter just to pull out a W from us. And you know what? The thing you said that they're the second defensive team in the NBA. Well, it's again a small sample size, and I think they play a really slow pace. That's why, with the small amount of numbers, the defense might look really good at this point of the season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're worse than we are, but I think we still really got a chance versus them.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. Because it does seem like they play slow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. Really quick, I'm going to do one last rundown of the team comparisons and all that good stuff. All right, just before I get up out of here, do one last rundown, and then I'll head up out. We're going to start with the projected starters for tomorrow. All right, we're doing a quick rundown, then I'm out of here. Tomorrow, Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. That's the starting five for the Knicks. DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic. That's the starting five for the Orlando Magic. You see Dennis Smith Jr. is out. Death in the Family. Reggie Bullock is out. Neck and a Death in the Family. And we can add to this list Elfrid Payton, who we just found out has a sore right hamstring. He'll be out for tomorrow's game. All right. Team comparison. Let's look at the team comparison. Knicks average 105 points per game. They give up 112.2. They shoot 43.3% from the field. 38.7% from three. 18.8%. 18.8 assists per game. That's what they average. And they average 20.3 turnovers per game. The Knicks' defensive rating is 107.9, and that's ranked 23rd in the NBA. The Orlando Magic, they scored 96 points per game. They give up 97.3 points per game. Their field goal percentage is 38.7% from the field, 26% from three. They average 20.3 assists per game and only 13 turnovers per game. Their defensive rating is 94.5, and that's good for second in the league. And the Knicks, like I said earlier, their offense, they got to pick up that offense, man. They got to make that offense move. Because if not, you could be looking at a blowout if their defense is anything like Boston and the Knicks can't move on offense and get caught in isolation every play, going to be in trouble. Keys to the game. Got to get Julius Randle involved. Right? We really got to get that man going. Do some things to open it up so that he can have an open floor to go ahead and score. All right? Move the ball. Shooting percentage. Like I just said, ball movement, especially against a good defense. You need ball movement, man movement, so we can get those shot percentages up. We can't shoot 43% and have an average 20 turnovers per game and expect to win. Take care of the basketball. Like I said, 20 turnovers per game. You can't do that and have a poor shooting percentage and expect to win. Continue to rebound the basketball. We had 63 rebounds last night. All right, if you're going to be a poor shooting team, you better be able to rebound the ball. I think we had 20 or whatever offensive rebounds last night. We got to continue to rebound the basketball. Okay, stay focused on the game. I know we have some of our teammates are going through some personal issues, and you might have that on your mind, but you got to stay focused on the game. And this is actually the first key to the game that's about to come up. Right, but we're focusing on it last, although it's the first thing that we've got to do. We got to have a better start to the game. We got to stop giving up these double-digit leads in the beginning of the game. Because if we continue to do that, you're going to struggle to win. You're going to have to fight to get back into every game. I mean, those are my keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Better start to the game. Get Randle going. Move the ball. Increase your shooting percentage. Take care of the basketball. Continue to rebound the ball. And stay focused on the game. Excuse me. I'm glad you guys are with me. I appreciate you guys. Stay with me. All right. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. And if you're on Sportscaster, make sure you follow me on Sportscaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. I'll catch you tomorrow night after the game. Be peaceful. All right. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out.
That's the G.